Okay. Here we are live. Hey, everybody. Jeff Gunn with Solid Canine Training, the wonderful Joelle, also Solid Canine Training. This is the What Would Jeff Do show. We stream to you live every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a Q&A show. We help with all your behavioral problems. Ask your questions. Ask questions. There's no reason why you need to struggle at all, ever, with your dog. You can have a calm quality of life in a week with your dog. Your dog can, at a minimum, interior wise, meaning at your house, your dog could be extremely well behaved. The thing is, everybody's going for training, obedience training. They're hiring obedience trainers. They're taking obedience training classes. They're having somebody come in their house to teach them obedience training. That's not what your dog needs. Not at first, especially. Your dog's an asshole. Obedience training doesn't change that. Your dog doesn't listen to you. Obedience training doesn't change that. It'll just not listen to you with commands now. There's lack of leadership in your house with you, the human. The dog is usually the leader. The dog's running the show. But you'll struggle. But you love your dog and you think it's smart. But you'll struggle. Why is that? Why do we live in an abusive relationship with our dogs, but we love to say that they're smart, and no matter what, we love them? Do you think that's going to make it better? Or do you think that is justifying you struggling? Well, I love them and I'm supposed to struggle. One of many things in your life that you actually can control. You actually have the incredible control over the output of the dog's behavior, their state of mind, and what they know. Social media is trying to convince you otherwise. Trying to convince you that leadership is bad, structure is bad, punishment's bad, aversives are bad. They want you to believe that telling your dog no is bad. That teaching your dog what something they did is wrong is abusive. That's the industry. And they want to do that by making it sound like smart, educated people think the same way. So then you should too. Meanwhile, none of these people are ever working dogs. Ever working dogs. Their nose is in their books. They don't look up. Even when you're in front of them, talking to them, maybe they'll smile when you pay the $1,350 for the 300 sheets of paper they've given you. And it's never result-oriented. Ever. It's called going to a behaviorist.
I think it's more than 800 these days. I think it's up to like 1,300 now.
You'll get your dog on meds. I can't imagine a dog on meds. Why would a dog need meds? For what? For a behavioral issue? Really? Nope. 2 different meds. 3 different meds. Geez, doc, those 2 meds didn't work. My dog's still biting me. Maybe we should try a 3rd one. Oh. Anyone that suggests that, they don't know anything about animals, actually, let alone training, let alone behavior. There's no proof that what they do works. They have no social proof. They have words, they have lines on a piece of paper. There's no proof that it works. There's no physical proof. There's no video proof that it works. And it's not even a tool conversation. It's a leadership conversation. We demonstrated that we did a 3-day leash reactive startup. We did that in our community. We have a dog, Dale, came from Alabama, Georgia, massively leash reactive, actually an aggressive dog. It's documented. The video of his behavior has been documented before he got here. And his intake when he was dropped off was documented. And the first 1 hour of his training was documented. And it looks totally different. In 1 hour. With a slip lead on. In leadership and structure. In someone, us, having the skill set on how to stop unwanted behaviors. Doesn't need to learn a command. Your dog doesn't need to learn a command to stop unwanted behaviors. Did you know that? Your dog just needs to learn how to stop unwanted behaviors. Ask your questions. We're streaming this on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Rumble. We do boarding training exclusively. I don't do one-on-ones. I don't do group classes. I won't come to your house because that's not what you need. Your dog comes here for full rehab and training, and then we train you. We put a lot of work into training you. Absolutely. I can come to your house afterwards, but not before. I don't need to meet your dog. Your dog's not unique. It's special to you, but it's not unique. The behavior of your dog is doing what thousands, 10,000s, millions of dogs prior have. It looks the same. I know what it looks like when you hug your spouse and your dog nips at you, jumps on you, growls at you. I know what it looks like when you walk towards your dog and it has a resource and it tries to bite you. I know what that looks like. I know what it looks like when your dog's pulling on a leash. I know what it looks like when your dog's exploding on the leash. I know what it looks like when your housemates are having a fight, your dogs. Any good trainer can say the same. Now, I want to talk to you at length to make sure you're the right client. It's not about the money. Are you going to follow through? Are you going to follow through? Your dog will excel. Your dog will do fine. I'm not worried about that. Are you a proper leader? Or can I train you to be one? If not, I'm not interested. Go to some questions.
All right. Michelle says, buying Green Graduate right now. Click. Awesome. Love that, Michelle.
So Michelle, yeah,
It's
it's a great course. I would actually, before you do that, think about joining our online community for a year. Get a year membership in the online community, because then you get Green to Graduate 1, Green to Graduate 2, Chaos to Control, which is leash reactivity. You get 26 coaching sessions a year with me, live on Zoom.
If you already bought Green to Graduate, don't worry.
But if you're a Green to Graduate, don't
I
worry.
can always upgrade you just
You'll be fine.
individually for the different.
And there's an online forum of like-minded people that also want to win. They're not
Everyone in there is
victims.
so good.
They're not. It's not a loser leash reactivity support group.
Shout out to Magda lately. She has been answering everyone's questions with such good feedback. I love it. I love it when members
Have more skill set than most
feel
trainers
like they
do.
really know what they're talking about. It's great. Carla, what should I do with a 9-week-old Rottweiler puppy who seems to get increasingly aroused / aggressive when I correct his biting?
Okay, 9 weeks old. We have a puppy course. It takes you all the way through. So you just have to learn how to stop the biting. Now, what you're getting is pushback. So you trying to stop the biting doesn't make the biting worse. You just addressing it makes it worse because the dog's like, F you.
And that's a Rottweiler, so you gotta stop that.
So you need to stop it. So you're probably not being forceful enough. So a bonker is great for that. This high-pitched screaming and turning away, stopping the interaction, that's bullshit.
Or take their lips and tuck it into their teeth and make them bite their own lip.
Bite themselves, use a bonker, no, bonk, stick your thumb right down the dog's throat, squeeze down and hold the bottom lip, let him scream. Yep, let him scream.
You make it suck to bite.
Because if you're, not to compare us to mother dogs, but if your dog nipped Wes's face or Tex's face, two of our dogs, that dog would be pinned on the ground by the mouth of a dog, screaming its head off and not let go until it calmed down. And it would never do it again. Got it? National Geographic gets a lot right. PBS doesn't, but National Geographic does. PBS doesn't even know if they're looking at a male or a female animal. They're waiting until the animal tells them what gender they are, what decided.
When's the last time you watched PBS? Come on.
I don't.
Right. So how do you know?
For moral, because I know. Next.
Michelle says, hey guys, why do you think there's so much obedience training versus training to deal with the state of mind?
Well, nobody ever talked about state of mind until we rolled into town 22 years ago. Because they don't understand it. They don't get it. They don't care. They don't look at dog training as three-dimensional. That's why. They look at it as just a series of commands. Because their job is, we train the dog these commands. That's their job. I train dogs these commands. It's not, I train you how to have an awesome life with your dog. There's a humongous difference. Don't pay someone to train commands to your dog. That you can learn all on your own and do it yourself for free.
Most people, I think, know how to teach their dogs sitting down and like the basics. That's never the problem. Mm-hmm. Nobody calls us up like, Jeff, my dog can't do a damn down stay. No.
Sure.
I'm waiting on you. Okay. BK, pause and play. What are the common mistakes new e-collar users make? What kind of errors have you made that you've learned from?
I can go on for weeks on e-collar use. I don't know what you're doing with it. I can just give you some general things. There's a lot of nuances to e-collar training. Most dog trainers do not even have the skill set to e-collar train dogs for behavior mod, let alone obedience. But the biggest mistake is owners underwhelm their dog. That's the biggest mistake. Hold on, guys. We're losing cameras here. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why is the camera going? We got to reboot this. So, Joelle, you want to answer that question while I deal with this, please?
Common mistakes e-collar users make. Depends what the goal is, right? I think a lot of the lies out there are that you can't correct a dog on an e-collar until it's been fully conditioned to it. That's just not true. It depends. Like, we need context. Are you trying to stop an unwanted behavior?
Just common mistakes, I think. I mean,
No, but what I'm saying is, so sometimes people get an e-collar and they don't even use it for what it's for. I need my dog to shut up, but I have to go through this whole training process first. It's like, no, you can just make your dog shut up the first time you put it on. Yeah. I think a lot of people stay in kindergarten too long because they're so afraid of quote unquote messing up the dog.
People underwhelm their dogs. People don't understand how high they can go. People also don't understand. It's everything. Every single component of e-collar training, people make mistakes on. Yeah. But the good thing is, even if you're making mistakes and you finally find someone that knows what they're doing, you're not going to mess up your dog unless you're blasting it for everything, especially obedience, not doing obedience. Correcting on obedience without knowing obedience on an e-collar, that's a big one. That's a big one. But we've got full courses that have been well crafted over 2 decades. Jeez Louise.
What is going on?
I don't know, but I'm really...
Just use your normal camera and move your computer then, because this is insane.
Okay, we'll give it one more shot.
Doing this the whole other live tonight too, that we did for the community. You
Honey,
have,
wait.
to, you have to turn it on. Click
Okay,
back.
okay, but we're dead air right now, so please talk. There we go.
Carla said, thank you. We'll follow your advice.
Sorry, I have major technical problems.
Nick said, we've cut out a lot of explosive reactions, but now we're dealing with whining in place. Or whining after stopping an alarm bar. Could you correct this behavior?
Of course.
Or another approach?
No, we correct it. You can use a bonker. Whining is over arousal.
Oh, wait, hold on. There's more context in the next one. Whining is sometimes accompanied by pacing if he's not already on his place.
Yep, it's over arousal. Yep.
Should be in place, though.
Should be in place. But it's not stop barking. Don't use place as a stop barking. Just stop the barking. And then you can say place. Yeah, but all that pacing around, that's all over arousal. All over arousal. So you can use a bonker for that, use an e-collar for that too. Yep.
Oh, look at Svenja. I think she just got green graduate, last week?
Mm-hmm.
Watching you guys while walking my corgi in a perfect heel in busy Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Good feeling, right?
Miami's packed with dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Lots
Little
of
white
dogs.
fluffy dogs
Yep.
usually.
Yep.
Cameron is 4.5 months too old. 4.5 months old, too young for e-collar training.
What are you going to do with it? No, it's not. But keep in mind, make sure you learn how to properly do it. But no, it's not. No, it's not. But the last thing I want you to do is just be pushing buttons. So is 4.5 months old too early for a dog to come into our program and be fully e-collar trained? No, it's not. No, it's not. So as long as you know what you're doing and you're following a program, you'll be fine. But it's not too young. For some reason, this industry is convincing everybody to wait till they're 6 months old. And I'm like, why? You can start with an e-collar at 14 weeks old. Depends what you're doing with it.
Because everyone thinks they're neat.
Yes.
It's no different than leash pressure.
It's no different than any other training. Start training the dog from the get-go. The thing is, when they're 14 weeks old, 12 weeks old, 10 weeks old, you can just use kibble because you're only trying to train them you are trying to train them all these wanted behaviors, and stopping them from things are easy with a bonker. You don't need an e-collar. Next.
Katie Poo says, what happens if you do it on your own, figure it out, fall in love with it, and then become addicted to dog training, and you have to do it every morning? So
then you make a good career out of it. Yeah. So you make a career out of it. And if you need help with your career, we can help you. We mentor a lot of dog trainers, a huge amount of dog trainers. The last couple of decades, we've been helping so many thousands. I mean, between T3 and Mastermind and our problem solving seminars, so many people we've started. Shadow programs, come here for a shadow. That's what you should be doing. You should come here for a shadow and increase your skills. Business, personal growth, social media, dog training, behavior mod. But kudos to you that you found something.
Michelle said, missed my last comment. I don't see another one from you, Michelle. Did it go through? BK pause and play. Thanks. Agreed about the obedience use. Thoughts on whining in the crate. Correct any whimpering or only louder cries. Cry it out versus correcting every sound.
This crying out is bullshit. Okay. No, you stop it.
All of it.
Right now. There's a reason why we have no noise in our kennel ever. Do you remember? Everybody saw the intake of Dale? That explosive dog? Do you know that he doesn't make noise and our kennels are quiet?
She was so intense, so loud.
Yeah. Stop it all. This waiting it out is bullshit. Stop it now. It's number one, your dog's capable of it. Number two, it's good for them to learn how to shut up.
Cameron said, I've been training her with a prong recently.
Okay, but the tools don't matter. Don't focus on the tools as much as your whole philosophy. What's the philosophy? Because you can get better results with a slip lead if you've got an incredible skill set, and you can get no results with a prong or an e-collar if you don't know what you're doing. So we have to bring the conversation to what's working, what's not working. How's the dog's state of mind? What are we working on this week? I'm not trying to. This is not hate. So many folks, though, are focused on tools. The biggest thing we get is, yeah, I train like you, Jeff. I use e-collars. I'm like, you don't train like me. You have no idea how I train. It's like, I drive a car like you. I have a car too. Right? Oh, my relationship is like yours. I'm in a relationship. What? No. Let's talk about, like, what are you are you struggling with anything?
Right here. So she
Mhm.
started getting zoomies. When I went to correct her, she got nippy with me, was trying to bite my arms. How would I correct that?
Number one, how can a dog on a leash get zoomies? Is this the 14 and a half, 14, four and a half?
Yes.
Why is a 4.5-month-old dog not on a leash at all times except for when it's in the kennel? Why does the dog have so much freedom? That's what I would ask you. So that could be stopped. Okay. No dog is leashless unless it's in the kennel until it's under voice control. But you can, how do you stop zoomies? A bonker. No, bonk. But if you have a leash on, you can stop it with a leash or it never starts. But you can let it start just so you can stop it. So what we do is we would let it start just so we teach the dog to stop it.
I think we need to make a video on that.
Mm-hmm.
On like leashes on dogs. So every single dog here, Gordy just got off leash today. Today's his 2-week
Mhm.
mark. He's been here for 2 solid weeks, 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime he was out of that crate prior to today,
Mm-hmm.
leash was on.
Mhm.
Every interaction.
So Cameron says the leash was on. Okay. So now this is what I meant. This is why I'm having a conversation with you, Cameron. Cameron, you might want to get into coaching with us too. But this is the thing. It's not a tool conversation. It's a leadership conversation. How can a dog that has a leash on do the zoomies? In my world, it doesn't happen because you would stop that. You would stop it.
Try a bonker.
Yep, you'd stop it. The dog shouldn't be able to get away from you. That's why we have protocols for everything. It's not just about the tools. There's a whole philosophy that I would say almost everybody, including trainers, misses when it comes to truly modifying the behavior of a dog. So many little things. We showed them in our live in the community with Dale. Little things like when I'm standing there and if he just leans over to sniff something, boom. What are you doing leaning over to sniff something? We're standing. It wasn't in a stand. It's like you shouldn't be so unengaged with other things. There's a lot of variables. But you can correct all that. But folks are afraid to be forceful. That's the biggest downfall of dog training right now is everybody's convinced force is bad. And I would challenge anybody, any of these force-free people, like, please stop lying to everybody. Number one, stop lying. You're not working dogs. Because if you are, you're using force. Because nobody's working a totally untrained dog without force. It's impossible. It can't be done. And you know what the response is? Well, if you have better skill sets, and you know what my response is? Show me a video. And you know what the response is? We're too busy. Or I'm not going to film a dog and what, hurt its feelings? It's because it's not being done. It's because you're being lied to. It's not that hard to put up a video clip. People love writing you a damn fucking novel, how much you suck, but they can't put up a 10-second video clip? Really? It's because they're full of shit. So that's where, yep, dogs doing the zoomies, knock it off. Cut the shit. Got it? Just like that. Whoa, what the hell was that? We don't do zoomies. Especially in the house. Dogs in the park, like we run dogs every day in the field. Every board and trained dog goes into the field. We document everything. Everything I talk about, by the way, is documented. Every single thing that comes out of my mouth has been documented. That anybody can see, or it's in a course somewhere. If they were in the field, of course you can do the zoomies. But when I say knock it off, you have to stop. When I say here, you've got to come to me. When I say break, go to the zoomies. In the house, never. Absolutely not. In your yard, if you treasure your grass, probably not a good idea. But in the house, absolutely not. You're not running around this damn house like a out of control dog. Nope. It's not what houses are for. Next.
Michelle said, I thought Green to Graduate would be good for my youngest dog, as I had to put my 2 older dogs down. The youngest is a bit reactive to people. Now it's just him and me.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be great.
Green to Graduate is great for every owner and every dog. And you'll learn how to stop it. Your bar is going to be raised. Your mental, like your bar right now is low for your dog. I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking anybody, guys. But the bar is low in this industry. Okay? So your bar will be raised. You'll be blown away at what you can do with your dog.
Sunshine Canine. Hey, J&J, I've been loving watching some of the dogs you're currently posting about. Our 8-month-old Great Dane broke her toe, and I'm so glad she's trained to just chill. Too many people wait until there's a problem.
Yep. We've been getting a lot of calls from people that have got 12-week-old puppies, 14-week-old puppies, 5-month-old dogs. A lot of people are being proactive. Yep. Next.
Morgan said that would be a great video. What age to start on-leash training?
Mm-hmm. Second you get the dog. Dogs start getting trained at 2 days old. They start all their developmental training, their neurological training. Like 6 weeks old, you can start teaching them about a crate. 8 weeks old, you can start teaching them about overnight in a crate. Yep, next.
Aaron said, I want to take my dog to an outdoor coffee shop. How do I correct him if he barks at people approaching our table?
Do you know how to stop? Do you know how to stop barking not at a coffee shop? In other words, this is the way, this is in our world, this is what happens. When's the last time that we had to correct a dog at a coffee shop for barking at someone? Probably years ago. Why? Because by week 2, dogs don't do that anymore in our program. So can you stop a dog at the park from barking at people? Does your dog bark at people on the walk? Because if you can't stop it there, don't go to the coffee shop yet. But in a week, you can stop it. So my question to you is, do you know how to stop a dog from barking? In a split second. It barks once, you do something, you apply a punisher, it stops. Do you know how to do that? And if you do, role play it everywhere but the coffee shop. And then you do the coffee shop. So by the time we go to a coffee shop, so this week, Nala's going to a coffee shop, Titan's going to a coffee shop, Gordy's going to a coffee shop. All documented, right? Look at our Instagram stories. All laying down, all quiet. People come by, kids run by, elderly go by in their walkers, cars go by, bicycles, nobody's barking. Everyone's in a downstay, nobody breaks command. So we proved that prior. But if you, as far as stopping barking, e-cower, leash pop, foot tap. I don't know what your skill set is. I don't know what your training, your journey has been. But you'll be saying no, and then you'll be correcting. But you want to get to the point where it doesn't happen. We take dogs to Home Depot. People, what happens if your dog lunges at someone? Our dogs don't lunge at people at Home Depot. They could. I guess a car can drive down the aisle at Home Depot too. I'm sure that's happened somewhere in the country, right? Some older person that mixes up the gas and the brake and they go through the front door. That could happen too. But that's the proofing. By the time we're out in public, we're proofing now. Now we're taking the dog's skill set and proofing it. So the chances of failure are slim. But we want to, if they get failure, we can see it happening. So if we see the look a dog's going to give, that's the pre-bark look, we correct that. It's called loading. It's called the thought crime.
Thought crime.
You can actually stop.
That's the new slogan.
Thought crimes. Because people say, no, you can't. I'm like, code word for you just don't know how to. Next.
Cameron said, thank you. I ended up putting her in the crate.
So kudos to you, but that's not training. Again, you didn't do anything wrong, but I want you to know, and I'm a firm believer of crates, but I want you to work on your skill set. So set it up. So if your dog has the zoomies, start setting up your dog to do the zoomies just so you can learn how to stop it. That's what we do. That's what we do. Next.
Eileen said, dogs in a pack are not force-free.
Yeah, I know. The force-free is a scam, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So the force-free whole thing, it's a scam. And this is what people say. You just don't understand what force-free is. Yes, I do. I read their mission statement. I know what it means. I'm not stupid. But they're not doing it, and you can't do behavior modification with what they say that they're doing. You can't even get reliable obedience. The bar is beyond low. Beyond low. But they're not doing it. I'd be more than happy to meet someone at a shelter, videotape it, and they can show me. Let's just go to a shelter, pick out a dog and show me. We'll videotape it. Well, we'll document, turn it into a fundraiser. All the money raised will go towards the shelter. You can show me. And whatever we raise, if you prove me wrong, I'll just triple it. I'll triple it. I don't care. Up to like 25 grand. I don't give a shit. I'd be more than happy to. Any trainer in my position would do that because we all know it's fake. We all know it's false. We all know it's feel-good shit. Next.
Matt says, with so many tools out there for corrections, which one do you recommend the most? Prong collar, e-collar, harness?
Well, harness, you're not going to correct a dog with a harness. My body, myself. No tool is going to be as powerful as the knowledge you have on how to stop an unwanted behavior. I can stop almost every unwanted behavior with no tools whatsoever, except for me, the biggest tool in the shed. Because you can use an e-collar, but many people can't stop behaviors with it. Prong collar, many people can stop. Do you know how many dogs pull through prong collars? Do you know how many dogs blow through e-collars? Do you know how many dogs get corrected on an e-collar and they don't change anything at all? Spatial pressure in Joelle in our world, I don't know if Joelle agrees with this, but she might. Spatial pressure is probably the biggest, most powerful bad behavior stopper, is pressure. The innate pressure that a dog understands going back tens of thousands of years. Space.
Dogs put spatial pressure on each other all the time.
Yep. And intent. Intent. Deep down inside intent. That when I walk up to a dog can feel you just did something wrong and you're not supposed to do that and you better back down. Dogs do it to each other all the time. National Geographic. Watch it. We can duplicate that. But it has to be deep down in your core. Speaking of core, your fucking Pilates is kicking out a nice little core on you, lady.
Laundry on my abs.
Nice. Next.
No joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to lie. I have been a heavy weightlifter for 17 years now.
Mm.
And I used to think like, oh, Pilates is like, it's too
for,
easy.
For Pilates wives.
Like, oh, Pilates, like who goes to those classes? Like, that's not what I do.
Yeah.
I've been humbled.
Yeah.
That shit is hard.
Yeah.
I've been in 6 weeks now? I cry every class.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cameron said sounds good for sure when she plays with her toys.
Yeah. Set it up, Cameron. Yep.
Rebecca hopping on late, but better late than never. Mm-hmm. The 3-day reactivity live was so good. Mm-hmm. Glad it was a good one, right?
It was a good one.
Dale was intense.
Keep in mind, we offer owner shadows where you come down here. It's worth it. I don't care where in the world you are. It's actually worth it to come down here for 5 days and shadow with us.
We've had a lot of out-of-state people, surprisingly.
I mean, it is actually, it will change your life. Bring your dog. If you truly want change, if you're like, I want change, I'm going to take my dog, drive down, fly down with my dog. You can stay in our RV, you can rent an Airbnb, stay in a hotel for 5 days, your life will change. Guaranteed. I guarantee you on day one, your life will change. I'll put it in writing. I guarantee it. Or leave. Yep. It's 5 days, but in 1 day, you'll get incredible results. In 1 day. Yep. Game changer. I don't care. Leash reactivity, aggression, resource guarding. Yep. We can film the whole thing and you can put it out there just to show everybody. That's okay. Someone else can document me. Imagine that. Imagine a trainer opening themselves up to be filmed and then I don't control it. Imagine that. So, I mean, I can bring my leash reactive dog down to you and I can film it? Yeah. Yep, sure can. Wow. And you're going to stop it? Yep, sure will.
Jason already did that.
Yeah.
He wore a GoPro the whole damn week
Yeah,
he was here.
Yeah, we're GoPro the whole week.
We're like, sure, you
Yeah,
can film
yeah,
it all.
Yeah, I got nothing to hide.
No,
I have zero to hide.
he just wanted it to refer back to.
Oh my God, what happens if someone catches me stringing up a dog as it tries to bite me? That's okay. That's what you're supposed to do. What happens if the dog goes to redirect you and you correct it harshly? Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Yep.
All right.
I want people to know there's a difference between there's different scales of dog trainers out there, and I'm getting more and more intense. Number one, I just turned 60, but also
Jeff doesn't give a fuck anymore. Apparently.
no, it's because so much shit is out there, and it's not just force free. The whole industry is lying to you. People are spending $4,500 for a 3-week board and train from a trainer that does use tools, and they're not getting at all what they were told. And they're getting a 30-minute go home. Buyer beware. Ask questions. Ask me questions. By the way, we're booked until October. So right now, the only way you can work with us is in owner shadow until October.
And October's booked. People are literally booking owner shadows and trainer shadows for October.
Yeah, so you can start booking now. So if you're a trainer thinking about doing a shadow or mastermind, we have 1 spot left for mastermind. It's in a week. Somebody had to postpone it until the next mastermind. October's our next mastermind. But if you want to do owner shadow, we have time now before June. Trainer shadow, I might be able to finagle you in before June. But then obviously you can book in October, November, December, obviously into 2027. Next.
Christopher, so glad I got into the community and watched Green to Graduate. I thought my dog was well trained, but now I learned to find the cracks, and I've been able to make huge advances.
Proud of you. Find the cracks. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Good for you. Good for you for putting your ego aside and going, holy shit, things could be better. Awesome. Don't we want that? Don't we want that?
That's why we always tell everyone, no matter what. Because a lot of people contact us my dog already has obedience.
No, it doesn't.
No,
it doesn't.
No.
Nope.
We're go through Green to Graduate. You'll have a whole new definition of obedience.
Yep.
And then they're like, holy shit,
Yep.
you're right.
Yep.
Our bar
Yep.
is up here.
Obedience with heavy distractions is the big thing. Sure, your dog gives a good downstay, but there's always the until. Until what? Somebody walks by. That's basic. Your dog can't hold the downstay. I'm not attacking you. I'm your dog can hold the downstay while a parade goes by, a 5K goes by, a BMX bike goes by, all those e-bikes go by, dogs go by. That's the bar. Next.
Rita said, please explain, you mean a hard look?
No.
When dogs
don't
understand what you're talking about?
It's a hard look is not deep inside you. A hard look is not deep inside you.
It's your energy.
It's your energy. I can do it in a pitch.
Confidence.
I can do it in a pitch black room.
This is why even some owners, this is why we do so much hands-on coaching. They will do everything. They'll do everything we tell them to do, but the dog still doesn't
believe them.
They're
not believable to the dog. There's a reason why when I grab a leash, this is why it's not a tool conversation. When I grab a leash of a dog, historically, they instantly do dramatically different behavior than they are with their owner. And I haven't even done anything yet. Now, I might have done a small little leash pop. I might have moved my body a certain way. There's a reason why a dog instantly becomes a follower around a strong leader. They remove themselves from the leader job, they go to the instant follower. And with that goes, historically, less stress. Most dogs don't want to be leaders. It's too stressful, but they have to be. So it's not a hard look. It's not a deep voice. It's not yelling. It's deep inside. I can do it with my eyes closed. I can do it with my mouth closed.
We do. Usually not many words involved.
Can it be taught? To a degree, yes.
That's why trainers, when you start coaching and working with much harder dogs, if an owner is afraid of their dog, that is
It's-
sometimes the hardest thing
Don't spend money on training.
to rehab. Because their confidence has already been knocked, the
Yeah.
dog's already most likely bitten them.
Mhm.
There's always that underlying fear.
Mhm.
And then it's the hardest thing to get people over. That's where it's like more human
Mhm.
psychology than dog training at that point.
You know what we should do? We should put a GoPro on Angelo right now.
Who's rotating all the
Okay.
dogs?
Angelo is rotating all the dogs. Oh wait, shit! He just took Dale out. Angelo, who is 13, he is rotating over 1,200 pounds of dogs right now. The two huge Dobermans that are with us, humongous Dobermans. These are huge dogs. They weigh twice what he does, each one. He takes them out to potty. He puts them to bed. That huge Malamute from Missouri that bit a person in the throat, killed a cat, kicked out of doggy daycare. He is in charge of that dog tonight, every night. Nala, the German Shepherd that goes after people and after dogs, he's in charge of that dog tonight. Gordy, the little Boston, you just tell him what to do and he'll do it, and he'll come back in and he's like, I took care of it, guys. Don't worry. Don't get up. He's actually that well trained now where you can actually just open the door, say, go potty. Seriously. So this is Gordy. Ironically, his owners wanted to be able to go into a certain spot in the yard and go to the bathroom. So Gordy, right now, as of today, I've documented this. Open up the door to our lanai. Gordy, go potty. He goes through the lanai, through the pool cage, down a patio, into a potty, through a fence, into the potty yard. Door's got to be open to the potty yard. Does his business. He actually does a little pause at the fence because he knows he's supposed to pause before he goes. He does this unsupervised. Goes to the business, sniffs around, comes back in, does everything in reverse, goes back into his kennel. He's been with us for 2 weeks. Now, we don't get that result from every dog. He's training up really well.
So cool.
He's really well. Yeah. Next.
Terry said the 5-day shadow was a game changer.
Yeah. Terry, you did great. We're proud of you.
Melissa said, I think I have like dog hair in my nose.
It's a good possibility.
So itchy right now. I started really using spatial pressure in the bonker this week because my dog keeps doing dumb little shit. I haven't been able to stop with the e-collar, and I'm finally seeing some of it get better.
Bingo. Become a badass. Become a non-verbal, level-headed badass. Got it?
There's a reason why we are such advocates of the bonker, because sometimes like e-collar isn't personal enough. These dogs are just like, I don't give a shit. And that's when people are like, oh, the dog will be afraid of you. No.
Hell no.
We want them to know the correction came from us because that is how you build the relationship.
We never finished that. So anyway, so Angelo, the reason why I said we should put a camera on him, because he can control these dangerous, out of control dogs. He doesn't say a damn thing. Every once in a while, he'll say, cut the shit. I hear him. Every once in a while, he'll say no, and he'll tap a dog.
He doesn't say cut the shit. He says knock it off.
Knock it
he
off.
Doesn't
He doesn't
swear.
swear.
Kid doesn't even say crap.
Yep. It's interesting to watch him work dogs. He's 13, weighs 88, 90 pounds. It's interesting watching him work dogs. It's interesting watching dogs respond to him. Every dog goes out on a slip lead. So it's again, these aren't tool conversations.
We've had dogs that redirect on their owners. Sometimes even at like mid trainings and stuff, like they're intense dogs, and Angelo walks them no problem.
And they don't ever think of even exploding on a walk with Angelo. They explode on the walk with the owner and redirect, but with Angelo, nope, they don't. Even when he corrects them, they don't. Next.
Pause. Michelle, I remember learning about spatial pressure from you guys like 5 years ago when I started getting birds. I used the lightsaber to explain the birds were mine. I never had a dog bird problem.
It's nice. Good for you. Yeah.
Harry said my dog is so much better. I took him to a doctor consult today. He was in a down the entire time in the office. I was so happy.
That's Terry. Do the shout out, Terry. Good for you, Terry.
You sleeping in the kennel, Terry? I know she has no problem with it. It's her husband.
Yep.
She threw him right under the bus.
Yep.
Rita said, "Thank you. I just wasn't getting it."
I know. Rita, these, I don't want to sound like these are big conversations, which doesn't mean you can't grasp them. I don't want to insult you, but these are conversations that almost this whole industry will just throw out. It's so funny because a vet will be the first one and a behaviorist will be the first one to prescribe a drug, but would discount this conversation. They would discount this conversation, but they will be the first ones to write you for a pill for a behavioral problem. But what Jeff is saying is bullshit. That's disproven. That's old school. Well, which one is it? Is it old school or disproven? Because old school works. It's not disproven. It's been proved every day with us. Our data says, our lived experiences says that it works over and over and over and over again. And it's been documented. What people don't understand, they attack because it scares them. It scares them. Holy shit, what happens if everybody stops taking meds? What happens if everybody figures out how to do this on their own? They don't need us. Why did we go to 8 years of college now? Next. It does it all the time.
It's ridiculous. And I have 2 female Frenchies. Both got along well until they got their periods.
Yep.
They started attacking each other. Will spaying both of them help?
Nope.
Not really sure how to handle this new behavior.
No, they won't. No, Spain won't help. Girl fights are the worst. Fighting bitches are the worst. They don't forget. They're ready to go every morning. They're literally texting each other saying, 3 o'clock, I'll meet you outside behind the trash can. Let's go. Now, you don't need to get rid of them. You don't need to spay them. You don't need to spay or neuter your dogs to change their behavior at all, guys. Now, females, spay if they're messy bleeders, and if you don't put a diaper on. Oh shit, my laptop's gonna die. Hold on. Talk about the female stuff.
So how much structure do you have in the house? And because that's gonna be the first thing.
If it sounds like he's got siblings, what?
Well, 2 females.
2 females, they both got
their periods.
They both came of age. They both went into heat at the same time, around the same time, which means you got.
Are they crated at night? Are they out of your bedroom? Do they know place? Like, can they each hold place and not free roam your house? Like, these are the big things you need to start doing. You need massive structure in the home, not leaving them to their own devices anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need to have consequences.
And do you know how to apply a punisher for your dog to stop an unwanted
For
behavior?
even looking at each other like, I'm gonna F you up.
Do you know what loading is? Like, we can teach you all this stuff. All this stuff can be taught. I just want you to know they don't need obedience. They're going to learn obedience, and they don't need more exercise. But yes, exercise your dog. So your dog doesn't need brain games. Your dog doesn't need exercise, but yeah, of course, exercise your dog. Okay. Your dog doesn't need a job. Your dog needs to not fight, and we can teach you how to do that. But it doesn't get better. They don't grow out of it. But you got to put it out. And since they just started fighting, it sounds like you need to put the hammer down ASAP. And separating them, putting them in the crate, smart, but that doesn't solve the problem. Got it? Yep, they should eat separately. Yep, they should sleep separately. But we're not doing that. We're just doing that because that's proper animal husbandry. We're not doing it because they don't fight. But yeah, you shouldn't leave them alone, unsupervised. But we've got protocols for this. And we're not going to make it better. Our goal would be to stop it. Our goal would be to stop it. So you're not going to say, well, they fight once in a while. I'm like, once in a while? The dog can get killed then once in a while. No, vet bills rack up. Frenchies cost you a fortune as it is.
You might want to think about our fast track program.
Yeah.
We actually have better success with that, with fighting housemates, than board and train, believe it or not. Because most owners can't afford to send both dogs for board and train. So then if we only work with one, it's just not the same. Yeah. So with the fast track, which is our online coaching, we coach you and you work with both dogs.
You can also do an owner shadow. We can stop the fighting. Like we can specifically stop. We can, if you came down for 5 days with both dogs, we would focus on them not fighting. So we would teach you the leadership skills you would need, the household management skills you would need, baseline obedience, because you don't need a lot, how to work all the different tools, how to be a proper leader. We'd set them up to fight just so we can stop them from fighting. Got it? So we're not going to avoid them from fighting. We're going to go, what's the trigger? What makes them fight? We're going to set it up just so we can stop it. That's how I operate. That's how I work. All right?
Thanks.
It's easy to say sober when there's no alcohol around. Let's see you say sober when there's always alcohol available. Got it? That's what we do. Next.
Yeah, they look at each other and it's over.
Yeah. So
I'll put a link up, Ann, for you to just book a call with Jeff, and we can help you get into the right.
But just to give you a heads up, it's not cheap to fix. It's more expensive to not fix. That builds that up. But they don't grow out of it. Nope. If anybody says they grow out of it, stop asking them, that person, for any advice about dogs. And you don't have to get rid of one. Now, you might, if all else fails, sure. But man, if you haven't done even the smallest thing that we suggest, which I wouldn't blame you because you don't know yet, that's why you're here, that conversation won't even be brought up. Because we would exhaust everything with you. Everything with you. And there's nothing off the table in my world when it comes to rehabbing fighting housemates. Absolutely not. Nope, there's nothing too intense for me. I know what it's like to live with fighting housemates. I've done it. I've worked with a lot of clients. It will destroy you financially, emotionally, and you'll end up with one, if not both dogs dead. Yep. So I'm dedicated to it. Next.
Young rich asshole said, I think it definitely depends on mood and education. Angelo has a lot of good education from you guys. Correct. I think a lot of his stuff, but with him, he has an interesting relationship with dogs. He doesn't even really pet our dogs, but he can walk our dogs. He can run our dogs. He can hang out with our dogs. Same with our client dogs. He's not this, like, if you asked him if he's a dog person, he would probably tell you no. But meanwhile, he works dogs every day. And he doesn't do it out of like, I have to because it's my dad's telling me to. He does it like all the time. When Joel and I are off property, he'll be like, yep, I rotated all the dogs. Yep. And it's not like he's like, oh, Gordy's so cute, but like he's not like, oh, I want to pet him and touch him and love him. He's just like,
point of interest. He's cute.
He's a cute dog.
He's cute. Yeah. It's a really excellent kid. He's really excellent. We're gonna take him clothes shopping again this week. He went to camp.
He's gonna be like 6'5".
He went to camp this week, and they had swimming. None of his bathing suits from last summer fit him, and it's not like he got like big. Like he's
getting tall.
He's getting tall. So it's like the waist crotch ratio just ain't working on this kid. So we got him a couple new bathing suits. We got him some new shirts. Got a couple nice button downs. Some new shirts. What's that one company?
He's got new sandals. Kids growing out.
What's that company that we like?
Guy Harvey.
Guy Harvey. Hey, Guy Harvey. Big shout out. Angelo likes your stuff.
Angelo likes your stuff.
Yep.
Lil Nessie said meta glasses for Angelo Foundation.
Yeah.
So he can show what he's doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Dan said, what's the cream you put on? I think it's called Quick Derm.
The Quick Derm, yeah. Quick Derm is good for any sort of superficial cut. Sores. There's another one, though, for a lot of your bully breed dog noses that they always get chapped. I don't think we're using Quick Derm for that. That's something else. But Quick Derm is great for just little, it's used for horses and dogs. Next.
Harry said, one of the best things I learned during the 5-day shadow was how to use the e-collar effectively. You guys are the best.
Yeah, good for you, too. And Carrie needed, it took her some time. It took her a little bit of time to get the grasp, but we figured out how she learns, and she did it.
Carla said, do you specifically teach how to use an e-collar in your programs?
Yeah, that's one of the things we do. Absolutely, yeah.
Cover
extensively. Yeah. Because there's There's a way to do it for obedience. There's a way to do it for behavior mod. There's a way to do it for state of mind. There's all different ways to do it.
John, my dog counter surfs and always tries to get food off the table. She's on leash when no one is home. She's on a leash when no one is home. Forgot to leash her last week. She ate everything off the table. Will she need to be leashed all the time when unsupervised?
So no, John, why don't you crate your dog? Put your dog in a crate when no one's home. Now we can stop. I can show you how to stop counter surfing, but start crating your dog when you're not home. It's not mean to do. Your dog could die. Like your dog could die, or at least get a very expensive hospital visit. So crate your dog, but you can stop your dog from counter surfing with an e-collar. But would I trust the life of my dog when nobody's home? It's not, I'd rather just crate my dog. Meanwhile, our dogs are not crated. So I'm not against not crating a dog. It's all based on the behavior.
Dogs are also 9. They've earned.
Yeah, they've earned the right. They've earned the right. And it's not that they're just 9. They're years and years and years of no bad behaviors or minimal bad behaviors. They're years and years and years of no dangerous behaviors.
And they don't eat shit and destroy shit.
So they don't destroy stuff. They don't soil. They don't bark. They don't have separation anxiety. They're not leash reactive. They're not aggressive. We're not dealing with any leadership structure at all, with us. They know their position in the family unit. So, but for almost all of our clients, we recommend crate your dog, get your dog out of the bed, get your dog out of the bedroom, more structure. But I would just start crating your dog. I wouldn't keep a dog on a leash unsupervised. You can hang your dog. Dog could choke.
Yeah.
Be very careful. Be very careful. Next.
Matt said, I really appreciate you answering my questions. I'm going to be looking into your service.
Yeah. Man, no problem at all. I just want you to know we're the real deal. Okay? We're the real deal. And I'm not trying, this is not a sales pitch at all. But we're the real deal. You can ask me anything on how to train and how to stop, I'll give you an answer. Most of these are too long to explain on a podcast, but we have answers for everything. And they work. They're not, you'll never hear me say, I heard you can. I think you can. I heard you. No, this is what you do.
But Jeff's confidence turns a lot of people
off.
Oh, yeah. They think he's so arrogant. Yeah. But if you're hiring a professional, I would hope that they have confidence.
Hopefully you want them to know the answer. Like, yeah.
We'll try our best.
No,
we'll see.
No. I know the answer. No, because so much of dog training is black and white, guys. There's obviously variables. Yes, there's troubleshooting. So all dogs have to be, trained the same. 2 female fighting housemates pretty much stop it the same way every single time. Yep. What happens if they're Frenchies? Okay. What happens if they're Dalmatians? Okay. What happens if they're Rottweilers? More dangerous, bigger dogs. Okay. It's the same. The concept is going to be the same. Leash reactivity. The breed doesn't matter. Resource guarding. The breed doesn't matter.
Oh, but it's a hunting breed.
Doesn't matter.
We get that one a lot.
No dog has been bred to guard food from me or you. It's my food. You're eating it.
Or Aussies are supposed to nip people.
No, they're not. I'm not livestock. If they did that to the farmer, they'd be shot. I assure you. Farmers don't have dogs that bite family members, but they will herd sheep all day. But if they did that to their kids, they'd get shot.
All right, we have a lot of questions to get through. Powell Pet Service said, I really appreciate Jeff's no-nonsense approach. Karen said, I think I know. Thank you, Powell Pet Service. That was really nice.
Thank you.
I think I know how to stop barking, but then I run into a situation where I'm proven wrong. For example, when neighbors' dogs charge our fence while we're training.
Well, you're not going to stop their bark. You're barking. That would be, I would set that up. So if I had neighbors, we do have neighbors' dogs. We have neighbors. Every time we go outside with any board and trained dog, Squirt, which is our neighbor's dog, is 12 feet away from us, barking nonstop. No dog is allowed to bark back at that dog, ever. Whether it's outside in the potty yard by itself, you can hear it from the kennel. Here's something for you. Ready? Dale, that dog that just came in that will kill a dog, the first time he went out the side door, he bolted. He was on a 4-foot leash, so he couldn't get very far, but he took me off guard. He waited at the door, but as soon as he got out, he heard the barking of the neighbor's dog. He bolted underneath the RV. He didn't get far because I didn't move. But I was like, holy shit, he wanted to kill the Chihuahua. Guess what I did? After I took him out to the potty yard, I walked him around. We stood right in front of the fence where Squirt is. Squirt's the little dog. Guess what he did? He went after him. There's a fence in between. He went after him to kill him because he kills dogs. He'll kill a dog. He got corrected extremely high right then and there. And then I circled back around, went back up to the fence. Guess what he did? Nothing. Guess what he does every time that Squirt's outside now? Nothing. Set your dog up to fail so it can learn what not to do. Because you know what another trainer would tell you to do? Don't work your dogs outside when the neighbor's dogs are outside. Really? So my calendar, I got to worry now about my kids, sports. We only have one car in our family. She might have some off-property things to do. Doctor's appointment, hair appointment, Pilates, the gym.
That's what I do, apparently. Get coffee and go to the gym.
No, that's what you use the car for.
It's true.
Okay.
And I go to Sprouts.
I'm not talking about what you do in the house. I'm talking about like what you use the car for. So I got to worry about now her schedule, Angela's schedule, my schedule, but now I got to worry about the neighbor's schedule when I train my dogs? No. Nope, not going to happen. Next.
Rita said, I've been watching Angelo since he was like 3 years
Yeah.
old.
His first social media, his first dog training experience was at 48 hours old. It's been documented. Social proof. It's on the internet.
Cheyenne said, yep, bully breed chap nose is a thing for sure. Coconut oil products are good for
Yep,
that.
there you go. Awesome.
John said, thank you for answering. You both are the best.
You're welcome, John. Thanks for participating.
Carla, which program should I sign up for e-collar training? I dropped the link to the community. It's going to have everything you need.
Carla, okay, here we go, guys. Ready? Let me sell you something. $497 for the year. You can't hire us for that cheap. You get 4 key courses, full courses, 100 hours of courses. How to fully off-leash train your dog, on-leash and off-leash train your dog. You get 26 coaching sessions a year, live on Zoom, every other weekend. Sundays usually at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 26 of those with me, live. Ask all the questions you want. You're going to get answers. You get an online forum. The forum says, oh, we'll upload a video. You'll get feedback, good feedback.
From people who actually know what they're doing.
Not victim mentality feedback. We don't allow victims in our group. Get out of here. You're not allowed in. Poor me. My dog's leash reactive. I want attention.
And you know what? Everyone we have some community members on this chat right now. They can vouch. They will come back and be like, so how's it going?
Right.
What'd you do?
Yep.
Are you making any progress? Did you do what we told you to do?
Yep.
Like, you're held accountable. Those are the kind of people we have in there.
Yep. It's great.
No
It's great.
excuses.
Yeah. Next.
Cheyenne said, your confidence is what's so great about you guys. Clients should be looking for someone who truly knows
I would hope so.
Yeah, but in this industry, it is strange.
Yeah.
It's strange, like, especially because I listen to a lot of his phone calls. And like when he says, I don't need to meet your dog, like a lot of people think that's weird. Like, why don't you want to meet my dog? So then when he's like, because I've seen it all, I know what your dog's going to do. Some people don't.
They don't like it.
They don't like that.
They don't like it. Some people find it impersonal. I get, but some people just think that their dog is special, and it is special to them, but it's not special to me from a behavioral standpoint. It's doing what every other unwanted behavior.
We know what a lunging
I know what it looks
like.
like. I know what separation anxiety looks like. I know what redirection looks
but
like.
It's the internet. Stage 3, but it's a stage 4. Like,
it's a bite.
Red zone. That's what everybody's used to.
Yeah.
So when Jeff really simplifies things, they're like,
something must be wrong.
This is weird. What do you mean? My dog's in a red zone. Red zone, stage 4.
Right. Aggression,
fear reactive, bullshit.
So how bad is the bites? Well, he hasn't bitten yet. Got it. So somebody likes to establish that. What'd you do? What'd you do? They did it on a stuffed animal?
Well, they do that too.
Yeah, I know. Don't trust a dog trainer with a stuffed animal. Next.
Diane said fence fighting with a neighbor's dog was one of our biggest issues.
Mhm.
Following your protocols has been a lifesaver for us. The neighbor's dog still barks, obviously, but we've just
Yeah.
learned how to deal with
Yeah.
our dog's reactions to it.
Exactly. I can't imagine our dogs barking. I can't imagine any dog that we work
It would
with
never stop
barking at.
because everyone's dogs don't shut the hell up around here.
Let's see. We walk by 1, 2, 3,
It's
4
nonstop. They all bark. All the
between
time.
our house and the end of the block, which takes 5 minutes tops. There's 8 dogs that all bark.
They'll charge the fence and bark.
Yep. Not us. Not our dog. They're not allowed to. After day 1, no dog's allowed to do that. After day 1, here. Yeah. And you can do it too, guys. You can do it too. Next.
Karen said thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They got through
Wonderful.
everybody.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Think about an owner shadow. Think about the online community. Boarding train. If you want to do a boarding train, I mean, if someone had an easier dog, I can probably do a 2-week boarding train, a mini 2-week boarding train with leash skills and maybe some, something. But we're booking in October now. So we're booking in October. All right. All right, everyone. Everyone have a fantastic week. Stick around for social media.
Yeah.
And a lot of updates this week. And then next week, we'll see all the folks here from Mastermind, another mastermind starting. All right, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mhm.